All right. Welcome everybody to Mindful Monday. If you are new here, first of all, my name is Alicia. Second of all, what goes on in Mindful Monday? It's about a half hour long. We start with 10 minutes of EFT tapping. Today we are tapping on knowing you are the operant power of your reality. Then we do a 10-minute activity. Today we will be doing non-dominant handwriting, and then we do 10 minutes of reading, and I will be reading The Power of Now. We'll continue on in that. If you are all ready to tap, go ahead and get your karate chop point ready, and you can start tapping. And you can start tapping on your karate chop point. Don't top on it. Well, you can top on it if you want to. Tap on your karate chop point, and you can follow along with me. Again, we are tapping on being the operant power of your reality. Even though I may have questioned that I am the operant power of my reality before, I choose to show respect and compassion to myself. And even though I feel afraid to admit that I am the operant power of my reality, I choose to completely love and accept myself as well as anyone else connected to this. All this fear about knowing that I am the operant power all this worry that I am the cause of my adult experiences, all this anxiety that my dominant assumptions manifest, all this pain for the time I have lost not knowing this truth. Why do I feel challenged to admit that I am the operant power? It's probably because that means I have to take accountability. And I won't have anyone to blame for my experiences. But I know that blaming myself and others isn't productive anyway. I also know that if I manifested my past circumstances, that means I have the power to manifest new circumstances. Whatever I am feeling is valid. And I allow myself to process it all now. Because I know it is safe for me to feel my emotions. The truth is, I love knowing that I am the operant power of my reality. It feels so good to know that I am limitless. And that I can manifest anything I choose. Even though I may experience doubt along the way, I know it is safe to trust myself and the process. I allow myself to be patient as I claim this power. I know that I was taught that I was powerless. Most likely by people who felt powerless themselves. But I am happy to know the truth now. That I am powerful just by being my authentic self. So I allow myself to shine. Because when I shine, I'm a magnet to all I desire. And I manifest everything so easily and effortlessly. In fact, I'm amazed at how fast everything is manifesting for me. I know I am ready to receive it right now. Because I am already that which I choose to be. So I claim my power and allow myself to have it all now. Because my manifestations are promised to me. And I now know and feel the truth of this all. Mind, body, and soul. You can go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And if you have water nearby, grab yourself a drink of water. All right, we are going to move on to our activity. So our activity today is non-dominant handwriting. So for the next 10 minutes, you're going to answer a journal prompt. The journal prompt is, what is on my mind right now and how am I feeling about it? And you're going to write your response with your non-dominant hand. Okay, So we are going to continue on and move forward with reading The Power of Now. So we will pick up where we left off last week. There's no title to where we left off last week, so it's just a random paragraph. All right, here we go. If you have ever been in a life or death emergency situation, you will know that it wasn't a problem. The mind didn't have time to fool around and make it into a problem. In a true emergency, the mind stops. You become totally present in the now, and something infinitely more powerful takes over. This is why there are many reports of ordinary people suddenly becoming capable of incredibly courageous deeds. In any emergency, either you survive or you don't. Either way, it is not a problem. Some people get angry when they hear me say that problems are illusions. I am threatening to take away their sense of who they are. They have invested much time in a false sense of self. For many years, they have unconsciously defined their whole identity in terms of their problems or their suffering. Who would they be without it? A great deal of what people say, think, or do is actually motivated by fear, which of course is always linked with having your focus on the future and being out of touch with the now. As there are no problems in the now, there is no fear either. Should a situation arise that you need to deal with now, your action will be clear and incisive if it arises out of present moment awareness. It is also more likely to be effective. It will not be a reaction coming from the past conditioning of your mind, but an intuitive response to the situation. In other instances, when the time-bound mind would have reacted, you will find it more effective to do nothing. Just stay centered in the now. A quantum leap in the evolution of consciousness. I have had glimpses of this state of freedom from mind and time that you describe, but past and future are so overwhelmingly strong that I cannot keep them out for long. The time-bound mode of consciousness is deeply embedded in the human psyche. But what we are doing here is part of a profound transformation that is taking place in the collective consciousness of the planet and beyond. The awakening of consciousness from the dream of matter, form, and separation. The ending of time. We are breaking mind patterns that have dominated human life for eons. Mind patterns that have created unimaginable suffering on a vast scale. I am not using the word evil. It is more helpful to call it unconsciousness or insanity. This breaking up of the old mode of consciousness, or rather unconsciousness, is it something we have to do or will it happen anyway? I mean, is this change inevitable? That's a question of perspective. The doing and the happening is in fact a single process, because you are one with the totality of consciousness. You cannot separate the two. But there is no absolute guarantee that humans will make it. The process isn't inevitable or automatic. Your cooperation is an essential part of it. However you look at it, it is a quantum leap in the evolution of consciousness, as well as our only chance of survival as a race. The joy of being. To alert you that you have allowed yourself to be taken over by psychological time, you can use a simple criterion. Ask yourself, is there joy, ease, and lightness in what I am doing? If there isn't, then time is covering up the present moment, and life is perceived as a burden or a struggle. If there is no joy, ease, or lightness in what you are doing, it does not necessarily mean that you need to change what you are doing. It may be sufficient to change the how. How is always more important than what. See if you can give much more attention to the doing than to the result that you want to achieve through it. Give your fullest attention to whatever the moment presents. This implies that you also completely accept what is, because you cannot give your full attention to something and at the same time resist it. As soon as you honor the present moment, all unhappiness and struggle dissolve, and life begins to flow with joy and ease. When you act out of present moment awareness, whatever you do becomes imbued with a sense of quality, care, and love. Even the most simple action. So do not be concerned with the fruit of your action. Just give attention to the action itself. The fruit will come of its own accord. This is a powerful spiritual practice. In the Bhagavad Gita, one of the oldest and most beautiful spiritual teachings in existence, non-attachment to the fruit of your action is called karma yoga. It is described as the path of consecrated action. When the compulsive striving away from the now ceases, the joy of being flows into everything you do. The moment your attention turns to the now, you feel a presence, a stillness, a peace. You no longer depend on the future for fulfillment and satisfaction. You don't look to it for salvation. Therefore, you are not attached to the results. Neither failure nor success has the power to change your inner state of being. You have found the life underneath your life situation. In the absence of psychological time, your sense of self is derived from being, not from your personal past. Therefore, the psychological need to become anything other than who you are already is no longer there. In the world, on the level of your life situation, you may indeed become wealthy, knowledgeable, successful, free of this or that, but in the deeper dimension of being, you are complete and whole now. In that state of wholeness, would we still be able or willing to pursue external goals? Of course, but you will not have illusory expectations that anything or anybody in the future will save you or make you happy. As far as your life situation is concerned, there may be things to be attained or acquired. That's the world of form, of gain and loss. Yet on a deeper level, you are already complete. And when you realize that, there is a playful, joyous energy behind what you do. Being free of psychological time, you no longer pursue your goals with grim determination, driven by fear, anger, discontent, or the need to become someone. Nor will you remain inactive through fear of failure, which to the ego is loss of self. When your deeper sense of self is derived from being, when you are free of becoming as a psychological need, neither your happiness nor your sense of self depends on the outcome, and so there is freedom from fear. You don't seek permanency where it cannot be found. In the world of form, of gain and loss, birth and death. You don't demand that situations, conditions, places, or people should make you happy, and then suffer when they don't live up to your expectations. Everything is honored, but nothing matters. Forms are born and die, yet you are aware of the eternal underneath the forms. You know that nothing real can be threatened. When this is your state of being, how can you not succeed? You have succeeded already. And that is where we will stop for today. And that is going to wrap up Mindful Monday for today.